So Drake really wants a game 2 with Kendrick Lamar. He just doesn't learn. Drake recently went on his Finsta account. Yes, a man who's almost 40 has a secret Instagram account. So, anything he says, there's always that plausible deniability that I didn't say it. That account isn't related to me. So Drake went on his secret Finsta account and posted that he will win game 2.
I'll put it in the front page, back page, middle page, wherever. Headliners, column 1 or 2, we will win game 2.
Of course, everyone thinks this is him saying there's going to be another round of battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. So let's just get this out of the way. There is no game 2. Kendrick swept the series. His jersey is going to hang in Staples Center until the end of time. I said Staples Center. I will not say Crypto.com Arena. Kendrick won. He put on for his city. He put on for hip hop. And the better man won the battle. It has nothing to do with who he is or who Drake is. The records were just stronger. He was more strategic. And with every record, Kendrick not only destroyed Drake lyrically and sonically, he came after his credibility and kind of his whole bloodline, if we're going to talk about Meet the Grams. And then he ends with a coup de grace, which is Not Like Us. And with Not Like Us, Kendrick made a diss record into a hit record. This is probably the first time in hip-hop history that a record that was meant to go after someone's opponent, and we know exactly what it was part of a battle, has become this crossover hit. It's a pop culture phenomenon. They were playing Not Like Us at the Democratic National Convention. I don't know if you caught that when they were going through all of the delegates, when they came to California and Gavin Newsom was talking, the DJ was playing Not Like Us in the background.
Are fighting for criminal justice, racial justice, economic justice, social justice. I saw that star get even.
I mean, that's insane. That takes a diss record into a whole new stratosphere. But for some reason, Drake just can't let it go. And although he used the NBA and specifically Rasheed Wallace as a way to relay that message, it just reminds me of that kid who was always a sore loser. Like, I understand, you want to win, you want to be the best. Those are great attributes to have. I think every artist should want to be the best, but at some point you have to just take the L. And there's something about being gracious in defeat. We just haven't seen that with Drake. Going back to the sports analogy, this is the kid who never played sports when he was little. I don't care if it's basketball, soccer, baseball, volleyball. One team is always going to lose. And what do you do at the end of the game? You shake the hand of your opponent. I remember as little kids, you'd be crying, thinking about the fact you're not going to get the pizza party after the game, but you had to shake their hand and say, good game. That was something that was a part of competition. And it seems that Drake is just incapable of that. Of course, it doesn't help that his fans keep goading him on, as do certain podcasters, people in the media, who I truly believe almost want to see him fail because it just enables them to have something to talk about and to give them more content. I posted a video not too long ago when Drake dropped his 100 Gigs website, and I said that my PSA to him, again, just free industry advice, is take a break. You are allowed to take a break, go live life. Why not do things that are going to make you creatively inspired? Right now, the only thing that's creatively motivating him is going after Kendrick Lamar. And the way the battle lines have played out, Drake's credibility is shot. It really doesn't matter what he says. Almost anything he says, Kendrick kind of preemptively had a response. So what's left to say? Kendrick brought the city of LA together to celebrate Drake's demise. Then in the Not Like Us video, Kendrick, Whitney, their kids, they were literally dancing on Drake's grave. During the height of the battle, a lot of us in the industry were discussing, can Drake come back from this? The answer is of course. The era that we're in now, credibility, unfortunately, means less and less to fans than it did previously. And not just that, but this is a rap battle. We want an artist to be able to come back, to be resilient. It isn't this sort of one and done. But for Drake to come back, he would need a big record. And I'm going to be honest, I'm actually surprised he hasn't been able to drop something. Initially, he insinuated that he was going to take time off, he was going to give us those summer vibes. He hasn't given us anything, and the summer is over. What's crazy is Not Like Us isn't just the song of the summer, it's the only rap hit to consistently stay at the top of the charts. And that was Drake's territory. He was the one who could come out with that pop record, the crossover record, but something is missing. I personally think he's creatively depleted. And I get it, he's been performing at a high level for so long, he's earned the right to take a break. Go away, go become creatively inspired. No one's going to hold that against you. I think the problem is that Drake is now a victim to this streaming era. Instead of viewing himself as an artist who has the privilege to take a break, let us miss you for a while, he's now viewing himself in the same way as a lot of the younger artists. It's content, 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 content. It doesn't matter if 90% of it is terrible. It's almost like throwing spaghetti at a wall. You just cross your fingers and hope that one of the records hits. And Drake has become one of those artists. He recently released 3 previously unreleased songs. Initially it was on his Finsta account. Now you can see it on the 100 Gigs website. Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, this is not music that anyone is checking for. Clearly, it wasn't even good enough to be released in the first place. So these are the things that made it on the editing floor that fans need to care about. I said on Twitter, to me, this is just devaluing Drake's catalog. There was a time when a new Drake record came out, or even a Drake verse, we all got so excited. As fans, we got excited. As the industry, we got excited. It was considered a big deal. It was an event. Now Drake can release N number of unreleased records and nobody cares. Outside of the diehard fans, I'm not sure who this is serving. And even all the Drake stans have to admit it. I know you're in my comments, I know you're in the mentions, calling me every name out of the book. You can say whatever you want. These Drake records are mid. They're forgettable, no one's gonna be talking about them. It doesn't matter how much vitriol you throw, these records aren't good. And in fact, you should use that energy to actually speak to your sixth god and let him know that this strategy is failing miserably. So from a strategy perspective, what is Drake doing? The easy answer is there is no strategy. He has no idea what he's doing. He's just spiraling after losing to Kendrick in such a public and humiliating manner that he's just pulling out anything he can pull out. I think Drake's feelings are also hurt because other people in the industry, people like Mustard, people like The Weeknd, who he thought were once friends and collaborators, have now turned on him. So by releasing music that they worked on together, it's almost like him saying, look, at one point we were friends and now you've switched on me. But these are old records. People are allowed to be friends, stop being friends. There's no hard and fast rule that just because we worked together, I don't know, a decade ago, that we have to be friends forever. Hip-hop is high school, but the gang doesn't need to be together all the time. Friendships fade away, allegiances change, it's just life. Now, if we are going to give Drake a little bit more credit, there could be some strategy to just inundating us with music, flooding the streets with content. So this is just a little industry secret. When celebrities are going through a crisis, it could be a bad story has circulated about them, gossip, some sort of headline that they want to kill, maybe an unflattering photo. One way to tackle it is to have you or your team just change the narrative, change the headline. For example, let's say a celebrity is going through a high-profile divorce, and in all of the media coverage, they don't come across looking good. So what they'll do is start to seed stories about themselves that put them in a positive light. It's basically the idea of turning people's attention away from the bad onto something good. I think Drake is hoping that by putting out so much music, some record will hit, and even if it doesn't, at the very least, you're focusing on him as an artist and not him as a loser. But I'm not sure if that's working. I think for Drake to have a comeback, he needs to come out with a monster record. Go back to doing the records that he does well. Go back to doing the records that, honestly, Kendrick can't do. Put out the club record, put out the party anthem record. That's going to get him back into the conversation for something unrelated to Kendrick. Putting out these unreleased songs, some of them having these little subliminals, that doesn't help the situation. And as for Kendrick, I don't think he needs to respond to anything. He has the ring, he has the trophy, he won across the board. All he needs to do is perform Not Like Us when Kamala Harris hopefully wins the presidential election. Because there is something as overkill. Just think about that Simpsons meme of the kid saying, "Stop, stop, he's already dead." You don't want to beat a dead horse, so to speak. So Kendrick continually coming after Drake, unprovoked. Of course, if he is provoked, all gloves are off. But for him to respond unprovoked doesn't help him either. But that's where we are in hip hop. Another day, another pack of Drake records that nobody needed. But what do you think? Do you want there to be a round 2 between Drake and Kendrick Lamar? Or are you just done with this beef and you want some new records that are moving away from this narrative? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments.